thank you very much for coming to this session. It's going to be a really good one, as you can see, looking around you. So you can instantly tell it's a blazing hot day outside. Temperatures over 30 degrees in London. So people have come here in order to be nice and cool. And of course, this is going to be a really cool talk, isn't it? Yes, so great. Now, what we've done for you is we have some water at the sides of the room. So if you need to, feel free to go there and try and do it a little bit discreetly so as not to be in everybody's eyesight, and get some water if you need to. At the end of the talk, there will also be some food and drink next door. But before that, we've got some great things for you. Oh, and I've got some house notices, as it were. If you hear any bells, well, none are scheduled. So firstly, get your neighbor to tap you on the head. And if the ringing doesn't go away, then head outside and either go back the way you came, fire exit, or go left, go the other way into the big room. And at the back, there's another fire exit. And please walk through to the street outside where you'll go there and take you off in a nice way, of course. Now, if you need anything else, maybe because of all the water you're drinking, the toilets are straight to the end, to the end of this little bit of corridor. Big tree, don't use the tree, turn right and there are toilets down there. So feel free, if you need to, feel free to use those whilst we're talking and things, because you are hot. And you'll see exactly what I mean later in the evening as it gets hotter. But if you need to, then do feel free to go outside. But I said we're having a cool meeting. I've also said it's a really hot topic. And we have a hot presenter, my great colleague and friend, Kitty. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. She doesn't know what I'm going to say yet. No. So I'll just stand over here and tell you. Okay. Dr. Kitty Hung is a PhD, a fellow of the BCS, that's FBCS, a CITP, which stands for Chartered IT Professional, and she's also an MIIBA, which is to do with business analysis. So wow, I think she stopped before the letters started spilling off the page, but she's done really well. She has got more than 25 years of experience as an information and communication technology lead business analyst, senior project manager, principal consultant, all sorts of things like that. What are her core competencies? Well, it says here on her profile, business analysis, yep, tick, very definitely. Software development life cycles, tick. Requirements analysis, tick. Process modeling, tick. Data analysis, tick. There's a whole lot more, which I'm going to skip over, and Kitty may want to tell you more about those, but I'm going to continue with the highlights. Business strategy, yes. Strategic transformation and operational initiatives and programs, yes. She is very much a fan of the BCS. You just need to look at her profile. Yeah. You have to look at her to know that. She is not only an FBCS and CITP, she's also a BCS Agile Foundation certificate holder and a BCS Agile Train the Trainer certificate holder. So Kitty is the person to see if you want to know about BCS courses and BCS accreditations. She's great. She's written lots of thought leadership articles, including for BCS IT Now magazine, and they're very good. They're concise and to the point. I like them. And as far as her employment history is concerned, where has she worked? Well, at Atkins, which is a global firm, and there she is now the principal consultant for aerospace, defense, security, and other things. And that's on a global basis. Before that, she was at a company called Raytheon, which you've probably heard of as well, where she was the lead business analyst. Specialities, cyber, digital, and other things. I'm abbreviating strongly here, but of course, you'll be able to talk to Kitty later if you want to and learn more. So what's she doing here? And what am I doing here? And who am I? Forgot to tell you. My name is Darling, and I'm the chairman of 3 great groups here at BCS. BCS North London, BCS Central London, and BCS South London. Who is the member of one of those groups? Far too few of you. Treat this as an encouragement to join BCS and join the kaleidoscope of possibilities in BCS with us. Kitty is very much a great example of what you can achieve with BCS. But let's switch from BCS to BA. She's going to talk about, no big surprise, business analysis. And I think I'll stop at that point because Kitty is going to tell us lots more about the things that you've read about which attracted you to being here. Just one thing before you go, I noticed this gentleman here has put a whole pile of white cards on the seat beside him. Well, those white cards, which are you're either sitting on or they're on the floor, hang on to those because I'm going to ask you later about what you thought of this event. Did you think it was a 5-star event? We don't know yet, of course, but on a scale of 1 star up to 5 stars, how do you rate this event? We want to put on 5-star events for you, but are we doing so? If we don't have a pen or pencil, sorry, no excuse. We've got a stack of those there, along with the line of my colleagues who are there manning the doors so that they're going to collect the cards. So that's what we're going to do. You can also add some words, some text, if you wish. But what I want, please, is to know if you think this is a 5-star event. And remember, if you feel you're about to faint with all the wonderful knowledge that's coming your way, water, etc. Is that okay? Fabulous. In that case, there's only one thing to do. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kitty.
Thank you. A wonderful intro. So, good evening all. Thank you so much for your time to come here to listen to my talk. I hope you will find it useful. Today, I'm going to discuss about the role of business analysis in the age of generative AI. It's a hot topic. You can see in this diagram, in the Homo evolution, we evolved from monkey, chimpanzee to human civilization. Fast forward to 1990s, in the last 30 years, we have embarked a journey of digital transformation. And now I think we are heading to the automation powered by AI. Cybernetic automation where the machine can perform mental tasks like humans, and the physical automation where the machine can perform physical tasks like human. So we are now I believe we are now in the digital transformation age, heading to the AI-powered automation. So here's my agenda. Introduction, I can skip that because I've got a very good intro from Denham. And I'm going to talk about what is AI and what is generative AI, and what is the relationship between it and business analysis. There's a bit of debate whether there's any job reduction or any emerging job opportunities. And then comparison between human intelligence and machine intelligence. And finally, I will provide a roadmap to transition from business analyst to business advisor. And I will tell you why and how. I would like to speak for about 1 hour, and then I'll leave all the Q&A to the end of my talk. And so for those of you who are logging in remotely, please write your questions on the chat pane. And David will be able to read your questions at the end of my talk. So skip that now, okay? So basically, I got my PhD in 1999, and I stayed in the academic for a couple of years. And then I moved to the industry. I worked in telecoms for about 2 years before I joined the central government, and I stayed in the Metropolitan Police for 15 years. And in 2017, one thing I would like to share with you is that I joined a company, a great company. It is actually my career transition. The first ever I experienced IoT. Before that, I was working in the traditional 2D apps on the flat screen with the user interface, with the keyboard and mouse for testing. But all of a sudden, there's a smart meter in front of me with no user interface. All I can see is the numbers on the meter, and that's it, and it's a computer. So I learned so much in this job about emerging technology and IoT, about the testing, about how we build the back end and front end. Fantastic company. And then I moved to Raytheon. After more than 2 years, I moved to Raytheon to take up the role as a lead business analyst. Raytheon is a defense contractor. They manufacture ammunition and equipment. So I continue my experience and knowledge in the IoT. So I was involved in digital twin and other defense equipment development. In 2021, I joined Atkins, and I'm the principal consultant working in the ADS&T, Aerospace, Defense, Security, and Technology. So I'm the holder of BCS International Diploma in Business Analysis, and I'm also CITP and fellowship of BCS and a member of IIBA. So as most of you will know, the AI is not new. AI was dated back in the 1950s. There was a lot of discussion about how a computer can mimic human intelligence. It was not until November 2022 when the ChatGPT was launched. It was the first time general public in the consumer market, we are able to have the interface to communicate with the AI to get the output from the AI. Because before that, AI was pretty much used by research community, academic community, military community, and a little bit of commercial sector. They use it for financial decision-making in the stock market, etc. So that is a breakthrough since November 2022. So what's the relationship between generative AI and business analyst? The thing is, one of the capability of the generative AI is it can generate code. So you can see this gentleman, he wrote down some requirements on the piece of paper. He took a picture and scanned it as a JPEG. He uploaded to the system. The code generator generate the code, and then the execution file generate a website. So he did that in a couple of minutes without having to code manually. So that's the breakthrough that I'm talking about, the capability of generative AI. So I have a try myself. I uploaded a picture of myself holding the cat, and I asked the code interpreter in GPT-4, could you change the color of my cat from black cat to white cat? And he said, yeah, sure. And he generated some Python code, and then it turned the picture to my black cat to white cat. It's not perfect, but what I want to share with you is that the whole process took about 30 seconds, and the code is downloadable. I had the choice. I downloaded the code. I look at Python. I can do some fine tuning and upload it back to generate another picture that will make my hair. It changed my hair to white to modify that. Or I can keep asking the GPT to modify the picture until I'm happy. But the whole process, it takes about less than a minute. So with this say, I come to a conclusion that if the AI can understand natural language, it can just turn the natural language into computer code, testing and application. As a BA for like, I'm through and through BA for like over 20 years. And I'm thinking, will I become redundant? Because my job as a BA, I'm sitting between the users and stakeholders and the technical development community. And I am good in creating user stories, process mapping, use case notation, SysML notation, class diagram, all this I'm really, really good at. And now I don't need that because with the generative AI, it can just turn the code into a application. You might say, well, at this stage, maybe small system, you can do that. But if we have a very big complex system, we still need the notation to support that. But what I would like to tell you is the generative AI can actually generate diagram as well. So in this example, I used the software tool called chatai.io. So I input some requirements what I want the system will do, and it generated a class diagram, a sequence diagram, a mind map, and a simple process flow. And I can actually save it, download in SVG format, so I can fine-tune, modify that in other drawing tools like Visio or draw.io. So I think, well, this is really useful. So what will happen from now on? I think that with this trend, if this trend is still going on, I think all the BA documentations, like functional spec, non-functional spec, UAT script, UML notation, SysML notation, all these BA documentation could be automated, could be generated by the AI. So we can free up some time to do something more sophisticated, deliver higher value work to our customers. So I'm thinking, well, if the AI can generate that, we can take the output from the AI and we use our human intelligence to look for misinformation, or as you know, AI, they do a lot of hallucination, whether check the quality, whether it's telling the truth. So we can become the generative AI output assessor, and we can conduct the quality assurance for that. And as you know, in order to obtain the optimal outcome from the AI, there is a new technique called prompt engineering. I will touch on with that a bit more in more detail later. So we can train ourselves, become a prompt engineer. A year ago, if you ask me or tell me about prompt engineer, I will not know what you're talking about. 12 months later, I know what you're talking about. So that is the pace of the technological advancement. So when I'm thinking, when we use the AI to generate the output, we automated a lot of our documentation. So we can free up our time to develop our skills, upskill and reskill ourselves to do something more sophisticated. We may be able to migrate our position from a business analyst to a business advisor to advise organizational business owner about their performance, about their profit and loss, business efficiency, cost saving, etc. With this, we need to develop ourselves to become more like a thought leader and innovative thinker, if you know what I mean. So that's how we come to this slide deck. I have a comparison between human intelligence and machine intelligence. In the left-hand side, in the blue, there are things the machine can do a lot better than humans that it's not disputable. We have to admit that because machine is very consistent, consistency in applying rules and logics, and also automation can eliminate human errors. And also the machine have the capability to acquire a large amount of data and process it and come up with the output in a very quick pace. I had this demonstration in earlier. It took me less than a minute to use the book interpreter to change my photo to something else. Because if we compare our single human brain with a machine, we can't beat the machine, because machine can do a lot quicker and faster and better than us for certain things. It's available 24/7, 365. In human, we work maybe 40 hours per week, and we have annual leave, sick leave, etc. And also, machine is multilingual. When I say multilingual, I'm not talking about 2 or 3 languages. I'm talking about a machine can translate instantly over 100 different languages. We can't compare with a machine. However, it's not all bad news. The good news is the green side. We have a lot of soft skills. We have a lot of soft skills that the machine cannot do yet at the moment. For example, we human, you can see we make decisions based on judgment. We are curious, naturally curious. We are not afraid of uncharted territory. If you ask the AI, if the data is not in the data set, the AI will not know. If something is not written down in the data, the AI will not know how to solve the problem or how to answer the question. But we're human, because we have creative thinking, we have critical thinking, we think out of the box, we may guess, and that's how we drive innovation. And then we have reasoning, and also we know what is right, what is wrong. We have ethic, we have morality. There's a lot of debate about the AI ethic, because it is very important topic, because AI itself doesn't think. AI based on the algorithm, and the algorithm based on the data set. If the person creates the algorithm is biased, impartial, or racism, or that, the AI will become like the master of the algorithm. So that, but we human, if we have common sense is all about common. We know what is right, what is wrong. And we have empathy. We form rapport with other humans. We help each other. But AI doesn't. We are curious, so we have to move forward. I think we need to use more about our soft skill to solve more pressing issues. In this world, the problems will never run out. You will never run out of problems. So maybe we can use the AI tool as a tool, and then we can progress ourselves to solve more unresolved problems that we could not solve before. So I think this is a good news. So before I dive down to details, I would like to share with you 4 key takeaways. So hopefully, after this seminar, you'll be able to practice these 4 takeaways in your workplace. The first one is understand the intelligence-led system, how it transforms the business operation. Number 2 is how to leverage these changes to drive innovation and success. And number 3 is how to deliver more sophisticated work faster and better, because now we have the AI tool who can help us to progress. And number 4 is to identify a map to transition from business analysis to business advisory. So the first key takeaway is you can see the AI in the center and the capabilities of AI. I touched on earlier about the AI can generate code. The AI can generate code because automated. It doesn't really make any syntax mistake. It will not forget the semicolon or space because it is very accurate. So we can have it could have a very good quality source code because it's machine generated. And then the AI, not just the code, but also infographics. AI has a capability to generate data analytic, predictive analysis, and infographic. So make use of it because data is a new gold, and data visualization and data intelligence can support business for decision making. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So make use of the AI capability to generate some more visualization and to present to your customer. And the next one is AI can further automate a lot of business processes, such as back office, finance, accounting, logistics, call center, customer support. It's already happening. When you call your online bank and you actually talk to a bot, and you will ask you what would you like, and then you tell the other side, and then what's your question, and then it can actually recognize your natural language, your verbal language. And then when you log on to IT support, for example, your broadband provider, you have the chatbot at the corner. You can just type out what you want in the natural language. So companies already using it. Only human intervention kicks in when the first and second line support cannot resolve the issues. So the next one is I mentioned about the generative AI can generate business analysis, documentation, textual document. It can also generate images and synthetic voice, and also motion picture and video. For example, in the music industry, they already use AI to create music and songs. In the movie industry, they use the technology called deepen technology. They bring back those famous people who already no longer with us back to life. For example, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, they use their look and their voice, and then they remake the whole brand new movie with brand new songs and brand new story. So it looked pretty natural. So you can see the AI has this capability, not just for the textual and computer code, but also multimedia. And it saves a lot of money in the music and movie industry. Last but not the least, this is really important. Generative AI can generate content, but it can also become your personal assistant. It's called Copilot. Copilot is someone like you can communicate with your Copilot in natural language, and you ask the Copilot what you want it to help you. The Microsoft Office Copilot is not out yet. I heard that it will be out at the end of this year. So basically in the Office Copilot, it integrated with Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, and Teams and SharePoint. So and Outlook email. So it can write email for you. It can reply emails for you. It can book meeting room. It can send invites to the meeting and follow up with the RSVP, and all these administrative work. And you can also convert your Word documents to a PowerPoint presentation. So basically, you can use the Copilot like a personal assistant. In terms of Teams call, for example, if you missed the Teams call last week and the Teams meeting was recorded, you can just ask your Copilot that, I missed that meeting last week. I would like to know the highlight of the meeting. Was my name being mentioned? Is there any action task to me to take from this meeting? Your Copilot will go back to that recorded and read the whole transcript, an hour meeting, the whole transcript, and come back in about a minute, telling you the highlight of the meeting, whether any actions was being passed to you. That kind of space that, and you don't have to go back to rewatch the recording. That's the power of generative AI. So I have a little bit demo. This is called Excel Copilot. You can see there's a raw Excel data, and at the right-hand side, you have the chatbot with your Copilot. You can communicate with your Copilot in natural language. So in this scenario, the raw data is the sales figures. So the the co-pilot said, this is the sales figure for this year. What would you like to do? And you said to the co-pilot said, I would like to extract some data from this raw data. I would like to use it to project my forecast projection for the next year's sales. And then the co-pilot will just extract the data and then to create another Excel with the different color. And then it will ask you, oh, would you like, this is the figure, would you like to generate infographic? You say yes, and it generate the infographics. So it's all conversational. So it means that I don't need to know the formula. I don't need to know the Visual Basic script. I don't need to know the macro. All I can say do is just the natural language to communicate with the co-pilot, and the co-pilot will just do it for me. So this is the key takeaway number 2. I personally, I will urge if any of you is a business analyst, just use it. Use the tool to generate the BA documentation. Use it, let it do the groundwork, and then you take the output from the AI tool. You further modify that, fine-tune it using your intelligence. It will save you a lot of time. And once you save your time, you move on to do something that the AI can't do. That's my advice to you guys. I mentioned about prompt engineering earlier. So what's prompt engineering? You have all the AI tools. Prompt refers to the input or question we enter to the AI tool, and the output generated from the AI tool, we call it prompt. And then the prompt engineering is the technique to get the optimal outcome from the AI tool. You might ask, why do you need prompt engineering skill? To be honest with you, everybody use ChatGPT, everybody use generative AI, including my customers. So if my customer said, well, I can use ChatGPT, I don't need Kitty. But, oh, she seemed to be using the AI tool more effective than me, so we keep her. So that's the, if you like, it's a competitive advantage of us to acquire these skills. And I have to tell you, it's not easy, but it's not too difficult. The prompt engineering skill. For example, I use Midjourney. You heard about Midjourney. And then I asked Midjourney to generate a picture for me with mountain, trees, and birds and river. And then Midjourney generates a picture with me with everything I want. I have a photographer friend. He put the prompt. He put down the radian, the pixel, the resolution, and all these, all this technical jargon. And it turned out his output is a lot better than his image is a lot better than mine. It's just better quality. So that's the difference between how the technique, how you prompt the AI to get the optimal result. So everything is new. We're all learning. We are all learning. I have spent some time doing my research and studies. I test it. I find it quite useful. So I actually written a thought leadership article. I published on LinkedIn. So feel free to, this is the link, and to go to my LinkedIn page and look at my article. So in this article, I explain about the purpose of prompt engineering, the technique, what's the technique, what's the key, the buzzwords about chain of thought, and then how to avoid hallucination, how to actually look for misinformation as well, and then the iterative approach, how to actually form friendship with your prompt, with your AI tool. So if you're interested, go to have a look for details. This one technique I find is quite powerful. When you enter your input to the AI tool, you set up a contract with the AI tool. You said to the AI and said, I want you to be my prompt engineer. I want you to give me a draft prompt, and I want you to interview me. I want you to ask me questions related to my request. I will answer your questions, and you come back with a revised prompt with further questions. Every time when you generate the revised prompt, it will be better and better. And we do it iteratively and continuously until I said, I'm happy we are done. So I check this, and the output is a lot better than I just ask the AI. Because with the iteration, when the AI asks me question, I actually think, oh, it makes me think. Oh, I didn't know that. So it actually make me think, make me learn. And so when I input more answers, it improves the quality of the output. And try this out, it's really highly recommended. So this is a list of my favorite AI tools. For textual and code generation, ChatGPT, Google Bard, Bing Chat, Claude, Hugging Face, and Mentor's AI. For images, DALL-E, Midjourney, Bing Image Creator, and Stable Diffusion. For synthetic voice, we got Whisper Resembler, speech-to-speech engine. For multimedia, animated fake picture and video, I've got these three: Imagen video, make a video, and AI power text to video generator. I hope you after this seminar, you will receive a copy of my PowerPoint slide deck, and then so the URL are there. So have a go, have a try. If not, contact me on LinkedIn and I will send you a copy. So this is my all-time favorite AI tool. It's called Generative AI because it is about business analysis. So this tool, I put down something I want to solve. In this scenario, I said to the AI, I said, I want to shorten the waiting time at the airport arrival gate, the queuing time. Because as you know, a lot of passengers, they complain when they arrive in the UK, they have to go through immigration and baggage collection, and they spend like 4 hours in the terminal, which is like so not good. So they complain. So, and then it generates, first of all, SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat. Pestle analysis, political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental. And it generates also requirement analysis, as well as user stories, and also catwalk analysis. Catwalk, not sure whether you are familiar, is customer, actor, technology, environment, operation. So catwalk analysis. The whole process took about 1 minute, and it's downloadable. You can download it as a PDF or Google Doc. So when I download it as a PDF, I open the PDF in Microsoft Word. So I can take this as a groundwork and I can just fine tune it. Without this tool, if someone asks me to conduct SWOT analysis, pestle analysis, and also Porter 5-Force model. Porter's 5-Force model is a bargaining power of supplier, customer bargaining power, rival, alternative products, or new entrants. So the 5 forces. So if someone asks me to do 5-Force model, user stories, and catwalk analysis, I think I will take about 2 days. But now it's about 1 minute. Try that. The URL is there. I was using the free version. So they have 3 levels: the free version, the paid version, and the VIP version. The paid version, or this free version, gives me the framework, like a template, that I can further develop. The paid version will give me more content. The VIP version will AI can to do so. So I really like it because as a BA, I found an AI tool to support business analysis. So I'm pretty impressed. So this is the key takeaway number 4, is the transition from business analysis to business advisory. So you can see I have proposed 6 steps. It could be more, but I want to propose 6 steps as a start. So they are: improve organizational efficiency, improve cost saving, adopt agile mindset, embrace automation, data-driven decision-making, and promote sustainability. So from the outset, when you look at this, you will say, these are the jobs maybe done by management consultant in the Big Four, McKinsey, Deloitte. Why do we, as a business analyst working in a technical digital solution project, will want to do something that the management consultants are already doing it? So the difference is, yes, the management consultant, they look at strategic level, high level, about organizational performance, improvement, and efficiency. They will recommend the organization what they need to do, and then they move on, they disappear. And they leave the decision by the customers whether they want to implement their recommendation by a digital solution or by something else. When I was working in central government, I came across a lot of recommendation reports produced by management consultant. At that time, I was tasked to actually implement the digital solution based on the recommendation. I was thinking, oh, I got so many questions. I need some clarifications. I don't understand what they're talking about, but I could not get hold of them because they left. And also, there's something quite funny is they will not answer your question unless they have commercial or cover. That is their like a policy, commercial, contractual cover. So we just have to guess. Imagine if we business analysts already working in IT technological solution side, we upskill ourselves to become a business advisor. We become the critical friends of the business owner, CEO, C-suite executives. We propose recommendations for change, and we can offer them that. With this recommendation, we have the capability to assist you to continue the digital solution and implement the recommendation. So we have this continuity. We can help the business end to end, from the initiation, looking at organizational improvement, to the end of the technology solution. I think we will have the better chance to get accepted by the customer because, number one, there's no loss in translation. We have the continuity. We also save time and money with our customers. I think this is quite attractive value proposition to our customer. So moving down to the individual step, the first step is the improve efficiency. So in the improve efficiency, in terms of qualitative measurement, we can interpret improving efficiency like you spend the same amount of time, but you increase the productivity. Or you maintain the productivity, but you spend reduced amount of time. These two elements, they both contribute to the improvement of efficiency. But having said this, you make a lot of productivity, but they are not very good quality, then it won't be beneficial to your customers. So we also need to look at the qualitative measurement of the efficiency. So in terms of qualitative measurement, we look at whether your productivity or your work is aligned to the organization objective, whether it will help the optimization of performance, help the profit and loss, help the company performance. That's the area you can calculate, you can measure your qualitative measurement to see whether you have aligned to the improvement of efficiency. The next one is cost effectiveness. When you become a business advisor, you have to change your mindset from a BA to another BA. The A is advisor. Traditionally, as a business analyst, we work in project, we report to the project manager, we just capture requirements from the business and we create the user stories and as a business advisor, because you become a critical friend of business owner and business executive. So you need to look at you have the duty of care to look at what's going on in the organization. If you spot something, for example, the scope or the project doesn't really align to the organizational goal and is not really value for money or fit for purpose, you have to be courageous to actually challenge the project. That is not really a good way to continue. And feel free to offer alternative options. I've come across a lot of people, they're critics, they criticizing, no good, no good. Then when I ask them, okay, thank you very much for your suggestion, your comments, but do you have any solution? Do you have any suggestion? They said, no, they just don't like it. So this is not helpful by just become a critic, but what as a business advisor is your job to, okay, become a critic, but also offer better and alternative options to the business. That's what I'm talking about as a business advisor. The next one is improve cost saving. I mean, as you all know, since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the world is not in a good shape. A lot of countries, most of the countries in the world are facing austerity measurement with the high interest rate and inflation. So company, organizations, and they really welcome some sort of cost cutting and cost saving, but without compromising their business performance and operations. So this is by spending less is fine, it's easy, but by spending less, but without compromising your day-to-day operation and services, that is pretty much a challenge. So how do we do it? How do we advise our business? Is to look at the priority, must have, would have, nice. So the first one, you look at the technology cost saving. You look at the hardware, peripherals, desktop, laptop, servers, even printer. Look at, do you need so many printers in the office because we are going paperless? Or do you think total ownership is a better way, or actually rental is a better way? So my company, we don't own anything. My laptop is high. So after 3 years, then our supplier will automatically upgrade to the hardware. So that is the area you can look at. Software licenses, whether look at total ownership, you buy the license or you go to SaaS route. SaaS is software as a service. So subscription model, and then network infrastructure, compare the cost. Is it very expensive to have your proprietary data center, or you go for the cloud subscription? I understand if any of you work in the government sector, there's some kind of security if you use AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud. So that depends on the organization. If we really have to have your own data center, then so it's just a suggestion. You have to look at the circumstances. And then in terms of non-technology cost saving, we look at the first one is energy consumption. I think most of the appliances now you can buy is like green and they use less consumption. It is really good for the business owners. They welcome it because of the energy price has gone up. So look for the appliances with greener and use less energy. Was every little helps. The next one is procurement. Procurement is like you shop around, you compare price, and also renegotiate with your existing suppliers. Maybe you say, well, in the organization, you extend the contract with the suppliers for more years, but you get a discount. from being committed to longer duration of the contract. Wages, look at part-time working, job sharing, contract worker, and also intern, early career, young professional. That kind of model could save money, but not really compromising the workforce. And the next one is the overhead rent operation. We are working from home. We work remotely, hybrid working. Is it really necessary to have a big office in central London or Manhattan downtown in New York, paying a lot of money for rental? Maybe they can either move to less desirable area or downsize the size of the office. So that is another option for cost saving. In terms of operations, I have seen companies, when they refurbish their office or when they move office, instead of throwing away the furniture, buying a new one, they actually repaint, refresh, repair the furniture. And so they save money and time. They don't have to spend the money disposing of the furniture and buy the new one. And the furniture look new because they been refreshed. So that's another way of cost saving. And I've seen companies already implemented a cap on staff expenditure. So for example, business executive, when they travel abroad, they were able to fly business class, but now they can only fly like premier economy. And they used to be able to stay in a 5-star hotel during their business trip. And now they can stay in 4-star hotel, for example. And they also have a how much they can spend on business lunch and business dinner. So that kind of measurement, I've already seen organizations are already implementing it. And whether it will compromise the performance, I don't really think so, because it is more like they still need to do the job, but then the staff will understand by flying premium economy will save the company's cost, but they still go to do their business meeting or whatever they're doing abroad. And the next one is training and development. You look at the comparison of classroom training against online training. Probably online training will be a bit cheaper. And there's another model called train the trainers. So train the trainer is a model that instead of sending 20 staff to a training, I send 2 or 3 to the training course, and they know how to train their own people. So it's called train the trainer. So when these people come back to the office, they will be able to organize in-house training course. So as a business owner, instead of paying a training course for 20 colleagues, I pay the training course for 3 colleagues. When they come back, they train another 17 colleagues. So that's kind of some kind of suggestion about cost saving. There's so many. I'm just citing some examples. The third step is adopt Agile mindset. I have worked in Agile project for many years. I find that the IT development team in Agile, they're very disciplined. They follow the Agile manifesto, the Agile ceremonies religiously. However, I find because Agile is not just the IT development, it's a cross-functional team. You have to involve the business. So I found two groups of stakeholders, which I find it quite challenging. The first one is actually the product owner. I got asked by the product owner to be their proxy product owner many times. They will say to me, Kitty, could you go to the daily stand-up, the sprint planning, the show and tell, and the retrospective on my behalf? And if you have any question, if you need anything, you let me know. And they disappear. I was flattered when I got asked, oh, that's great. I can represent the business and to be the proxy product owner in front of the project. However, there is no way for me to learn something from the subject matter expert who has been doing their job in the last 30 years in a matter of 3 to 6 months. So as a result, I have to go in and out, to get clarification, to ask questions. And between them, I have some kind of loss in translation, misunderstanding, because I'm not the one who actually doing the job in the business. So my advice is we do need to educate our stakeholders and look, Mr. or Mrs. or Miss product owner, you do need to physically commit to the agile ceremonies like the daily stand-up. And you do need to contribute your idea in sprint planning because your subject matter expertise. And you do need to come to the show and tell to give us the feedback so that we can take your feedback to in the retrospective to lesson learned and continuous improvement. So I think, in my opinion, yeah, a real product owner is irreplaceable. We do need to get them to buy in. Another challenging stakeholder is the finance and procurement people. They don't like Agile. They don't like it. They like waterfall because from the financial viewpoint, they know exactly how much they're going to spend in for the project. Because in waterfall, you baseline the requirements. Yeah, this is it. We are not going to change the requirements. We know how many millions we are going to spend in the next 2 years, 18 months. In Agile, we have minimum viable product. We allow the user to scale up or scale down their requirements. We allow the user to change the requirements. Every time we run the project in multiple sprints. Each sprint is a mini project. We can only estimate the resources or money to be spent maybe in the next couple of sprints, but not the entire project. So it means that we give the procurement people more work to do and they don't like it. So what do? Hopefully, we can use the benefits of Agile to convince them to be on board with us. Yes, they will need to do more work to continuously, constantly update their financial projection. That is, they have to do that. But with the Agile benefit, for example, I listed there. Early testing, frequent testing, we identify defects and bugs early before a lot of money or time spent. We can rectify the project, and also we have minimal viable product. We have a working software at the very beginning of the project. We give the user a boost. Wow, we already have the application to use. Okay, it's incremental, it's iterative, but at least they have something to work on and we can. And also, because Agile is so flexible, as you know, technology emerge almost every day. What about during the project development life cycle? The project decide to adopt some emerging technology. If it's a waterfall, you can't do it. But it's Agile, we can introduce innovation and resilience. So there's so many benefits about Agile. So hopefully the stakeholders will buy in and say, okay, we have more work to do, but the benefit will de-risk the project. Imagine if you identify bugs and defects at the end of the project when so many million pounds and so much time has been spent, and then you have to, the defects cannot be rectified and you have to rework. You actually close the project and restart the project. As opposed to in Agile, you identify the bugs and defects in a very early stage. When if you close down the project, it doesn't really hurt the budget because it's still very early stage. And in Agile, because it is iterative, you make very difficult decision. You ask yourself uncomfortable question when you're very early stage, rather than in the waterfall life cycle. You pack all the problems and issue until the end of the project when a lot of money and time already been spent. So I hope the benefits of Agile will convince the stakeholders to be on board with us. So the next one is embracing automation. I touched on earlier in my first slide that I think we are going towards the direction of automation powered by AI. I'm in the process of writing a book. And in my book, I devoted about 50 pages about automation, emerging technologies. Because in the automation, I divided into cybernetic automation and physical automation. The cybernetic automation, where the machine can perform mental tasks, like whatever you're using now in the like ChatGPT or Google Bot, Bing Chat, it is, or Copilot, it is cybernetic automation. It does the administrative job for us. The next one is the physical automation, where you have robotic, IoT capability, power AI. The computer can fly, can run, can move, can dive in different shapes and forms. And that's why I call it physical automation. The benefits of automation, it goes without saying, it saves time and money. So as a business advisor, we need to understand what types of IoT, whether it's a drone or driverless car or a missile or a robotic arm working in the factory, or a smart meter, they perform different functions. When they perform different functions, you need to understand how they work, how you operate, and how you conduct the user acceptance testing. In the user acceptance testing, it's very, very different from the traditional IT application, 2D app on the flat screen. With the mouse and keyboard, you can do the screen navigation. If something sits here, you test the movement, the ability, fly, height, position, and also the device is not in the office with a socket permanently plugged on the wall. You need to look at battery, we look at the battery duration, and also if you fly out and about, driverless car, drone, robot, you need to understand, well, what if it disappears? What kind of physical security I need to consider? And if the drone's gone missing, do I have the GPS tracker to track it back to recover? Because at the end of the day, IoT is a very expensive device. So as a business advisor, you need to accumulate this kind of knowledge. So read my book, the 50 pages, and you will know how to handle the automation. It's not published yet, at the end of the year. The next step is about data-driven decision-making. Data is the new gold. There's no dispute about it, because with the AI, you got the algorithm. And no matter how good is the algorithm is, if the data is bad, the output will be bad. It's called garbage in and garbage out. So as a business advisor, you must understand the data quality, because data quality determines the quality of the output. The algorithm just process, the AI just process. So you with a lot of regulation about data, data privacy, data security, data integrity, data regulation, you need to have the knowledge about different countries. They have the different information commissioner, America and UK and EU, all these regulations and law to control that. And also, you also need to understand how to use the data tool. You got data visualization tool, infographics tool, predictive analytics tool, big data analytics tool. You need to know how to operate them in order to generate visualization for your business customers to perform their key performance indicator. So when they look at the chart, they will be able to look at the chart to measure the performance indicator. And once they measure the KPI, they will be able to make decisions, because all the KPI is backed by data. So I understand there's 4 young gentlemen. They are going to, they're still in the university. So my advice to you is looking at data intelligence. It's a very, very good career. Carry on, yeah, data intelligence. I love data. It's magic. The next one, this is the last one. It's called promote sustainability. This step is a bit different from the previous 5 steps because this is a bit personal. You yourself, you have to set by example. You have to be passionate about sustainability. Because if you don't care about the environment, you don't practice what you preach, you won't succeed. So ask yourself, you care about the environment, will you be able to advise business about sustainability? First of all, lead by example. Don't use single-use plastic bottle. Use this one. Drink the water. And there are 3 areas. Environment, about is pretty cliche about global warming, and we cannot continue to pump CO2 to the environment. We need to look after our next generation, etc. This is all true. We still need to stop using fossil fuel to use renewable energy. Rather, we need to support the net zero 2050 to become carbon neutralized. Yeah. So that is the things you need to educate and advise your business customers. And because it's so high profile, we're now talking about not global warming. It's like global there's a new term. It's like global cooking or something. It's really it's higher than global warming. Governments, they are having initiative about the corporate responsibility. So when a company they support and sustainability, not only they can portray a very positive images towards their customers and their investors, but also it's their duty of care to care about the environment because all the rules and regulation. So if they don't, they will get the fine. So I mean, their factories, they dispose of their waste to river and ocean, and they will get the fine if they get fined out. So apart from environment and corporate responsibility, in fact, sustainability can improve efficiency. How? Because let me tell you, in here, when you reduce the cost, for example, you have a company, you don't buy the new furniture, you reuse the old furniture, you use less materialistic stuff. It means that the factory, they don't have to keep producing materialistic stuff. Every time a factory produces stuff, everything will have waste and residues, and they need to find a way to dispose of waste and residues. And I heard that jeans is a very environmental pollutant. Yeah, jeans, the dye, the blue dye. So if I can wear the jeans every 10 years, then I'm helping the environment. And also because you're using less stuff, you actually save time and save money. So in return, you actually help with the improvement of efficiency, because efficiency is about cost saving, time saving. So I finished all the 6 steps. You might ask, how do we as a BA, if we want to transition from business advisor to business analyst to business advisor, where the avenue to acquire the skills? I mean, one of the skills, the first one is formal education, but it's not the only one way. I'm not asking to go back to business school to get an MBA, because there are other ways. For example, industry experience, you can shadow senior people like your CEO or CCO, COO. And also you can go to public events, seminar like this one, and then you can meet people, ask questions, learn from other people. Focus group and mentorship. Get someone more senior to become your mentor and coach, and you learn along the way. And then the next one is the networking. Networking like this one, talk to people, go out, ask questions. And here is our online learning research. I mean, I actually learned the prompt engineering myself, online, YouTube, Coursera. So I just learn because I have not found a formal training course targeting business analysts to learn prompt engineering. I've seen loads of courses about prompt engineering for programmers, but I'm not developers. So I kind of learn along the way. And if I learn something, I share. Last but not the least is the professional certification and membership, like BCS, IBA, and IEEE. When you become a member in professional bodies, you automatically get all the notification about available courses, available events. You come this event because some of you are BCS member. And you come to this event, you see people, you learn from each other. So it's all beneficial to you. So that kind of way you learn about to become a business advisor. Summary and conclusion. Right. That's your pocket calculator. The first portable calculator from Casio came out in 1972. At that time, math teachers, accountant and bookkeeper, they were so worried. They said, oh my God, I'll be replaced by the calculator. And math teacher came out and said, my students will be dumb and stupid because now they can use the portable calculator to do their maths and they don't need me anymore. Okay, fast forward 51 years, 2023. I can see still math teachers. They're still around because they move on. They let the kids, they let the students use the calculator. They move on to they tackle more complicated mathematical problems because maths is not just about calculation. Maths is about logic and problem solving. And I don't see many bookkeepers anymore because bookkeeping is pretty much 100% automated now, but probably the bookkeepers, they move on to do other things. But I can still see accountant. I'm still using accountants because they let the calculator do the work. Then they move on to help customers tackle more complicated issue like complicated taxation, profit and loss. So they still have the value in the job market. So my message to you guys is I discussed with other BA and some of the business analysts, they said, oh, I'm worried maybe I'll be replaced by the AI. I said to them, AI won't replace you, but the person using AI will. Because if someone refused to use AI, it's like in 1972, if someone refused to use a calculator, they did the maths themselves. It won't be improve their efficiency. If we use the AI as a tool, we can move on to do something that AI cannot do. I said before, we have so many qualities. We can use our soft skill, human intelligence, to move on something. Let me tell you, it's no way the world will run out of problems. So we can use the AI. For example, use the AI to, a lot of companies already doing it. Climate prediction and also drug discovery, because AI have the ability to handle very complicated calculation and task. So imagine if we use the physical automation powered by AI to help people, wheelchair users to walk again using the what's called synthetic like limb to help the person walk again with the robotic synthetic limbs. So that would be so wonderful. What about cancer, dementia, Alzheimer? All these terminal illnesses cause a lot of emotional trauma to family and the patient themselves. What about if we use AI to identify the correct treatment to the people? So my message to you is use AI as a tool and move on to help the world solving more problems and to make the world a better place. That's my talk. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's more like a reassurance talk. Although I look at AI like from a business analysis viewpoint, but I hope you those of you who are not currently working as a business analyst will be benefited from the knowledge and sharing from my talk. And so, any questions to me? And the remote one first.
We've got a question from Jitesh. How does AI validate that the solution does actually meet the business needs? Or do you still see this as part of the future role of the BA?
Oh yeah. Is I covered that before. BA will not.
Kitty, just repeat the question for the sake of the online.
So the question is how business analysts will do differently, right? With the AI.
Yeah, how do you verify that the solution meets the business needs?
Yeah, to meet business needs. Business analysts will not go away as long as they can exercise their soft skills. So use AI as a tool to change. We are living in a new world. We have to have a new mindset. If you live in a new world, you have the mindset like last 30 years, it won't work. So for the AI, it can automate the documentation, the artifacts. So we use AI to automate that. But then we need to develop our knowledge and our competence to lean to the soft skill side. Anything the AI can't do, we do need to upskill ourselves. Because if we it's like the calculator scenario. If we have the calculator, we don't use it, and we still calculate manually, we will not improve. So I hope this will answer the question of the audience. Do you have any more questions? Remotely.
Do the two here first.
Okay, yeah. Any question? Okay.
When you look at the business analysis transitioning more into business advising, is it sort of like doing more strategic work in terms of the value that the organization is able to derive?
Yeah. So imagine a day of work as a BA. You go to the office, you go to client's project. You produce user stories and BPMN model or customer journey map. Imagine you automate that side. And then you look at high level, whether the project or organization, you offer yourself, you look at the organization performance, efficiency, cost saving, and that you add value to the project. So organization, sometimes there is a gap between how the organization operates and how they assign digital solution projects. So you can use the skill to kind of link them, align together. That's the thing you need to do as a business advisor. You still keep your BA skills. You still keep BA, but most of the BA skills can be automated now. Yeah. So any question? Next question. Yeah. This gentleman.
So when you see the AI now taking more of a lead role in the creation of artifacts, documentation and all that, do you think there will be a blend of some of the project roles into one, like the business analyst, the project manager, user researcher, slowly blending into one role?
I can only speak on behalf of the business analyst community.
Yeah.
And I can't speak on behalf of project manager or tester or developers or architect, but I do have friends working there. And a lot of them, they are in the process of upskilling themselves. I have a friend, he works as a developer in a company for 3 years. And in April this year, he was told by the line manager, from now on, no hand code. So basically, the company had the API key plugged into the GitHub Copilot. So they generate the code. So they were encouraged to use the automated AI tool to do it. And then they do the fine tuning. Yeah. But at the same time, my friend was sent to the TOGAF course. So the company is encouraging the developers to become more architecture, design aspect to, because the coding is automated. So there's no point to generate the code. So this is just an example. And I also heard that in the testing community, I have an audience here. He's a testing expert, Steve. You can actually answer the question. In the testing community, a lot of testing are automated. So the test manager, they will need to move up their competence and skill to do something. So in the testing community, the test manager will need to move on to do some high level testing and assurance, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have a tool today, for example, to take a dialogue from a meeting, to put inside the machine, to get
the transcript.
and to get the diagram business flow generated, you just adapt a little bit and for the coding team. You have some such kind of tools already, like that they do this specifically the business analyst.
Oh, you mean so far, the list of AI tools that I like to use and I often use in so far I only identify one AI tool. It's called Venturous AI. It can actually generate the business analysis documentation, like SWOT analysis, SO analysis, Porter's 5 force model, use cases, user stories, and catwalk analysis. So that's the tool I have identified.
If I need a diagram to give.
Oh, the diagram is called chat AI.io. Yeah, so it can generate diagram. New tool comes out almost every day. You need to just keep researching. It's really this area is really hot. So yeah, this.
Just because my question is a bit of a follow-on to that.
Yeah.
What are you actually inputting into the tool to get into those documents? So say as a business analyst, you've done your requirements, but you want to get to that business process flow. You can't simply just paste your requirements in and think you've shown us a bit.
You can try it. The AI, they can understand natural language. I was like pleasantly surprised. I was really impressed with the capability, how well it understands my natural language. Try it. Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Yeah. Any questions? Yeah, this gentleman.
Thank you very much for the detailed talk. My own is based on everything is always good when it comes out. And luckily, as you have said, before you know this, another thing has come out and you will just be joking like what's going on. Is that you talked about cost efficiency. Unfortunately, most companies are trying to reduce costs and getting it wrong, which happened just last week with the
school.
Yeah, the school, the airport, and all that thing.
Yeah.
So, what is the business, either analyst, advisory, or the people in charge? How can they convince the people that is going to either actualize it or implement it to make sure that things are going on? Another one aligned is the ticketing office that they want to close.
Yeah.
Most of the machines are slow. And if
Not
you
efficient,
so by virtual right, if they want to close it, they have to upgrade the software. They're not doing that. So all those questions, what can be done? That's my question.
So if I task to be the consultant business advisor for TFL, so the first and foremost is that you reduce cost without compromising your performance. So if anything can compromise the business performance, I will not suggest them to cut the cost. For example, the examples I cited in my presentation, like business class downgraded to premier economy, it really will not influence the impact on the business performance, because if I was the business executive, I will just do it, take it, and also to refresh the furniture rather than to buy a new one. But it won't be affecting the business a lot because it is just I would say nice to have would have option. But if in your example, if the ticket machine is so slow, and it is a must have, is the first priority to make the ticket machine efficient enough to deal with all the customers to buy the tickets before they close the tickets office to make the staff redundant. So as a business advisor, I mentioned in my talk, without compromising the business performance. That is the key you need. I think he's first.
Well, thank you very much. Well, firstly, thank you for such a great talk. I should confess I'm not a business analyst.
That's fine, yeah.
But in the world of innovation, there's one of these stories where steam engines came along for the first time. They left factories roughly the same. It didn't really make a very big difference to how efficient they were. It's only when they started laying them around specific technology, and they kind of laid it around the big central shaft. I wonder, as you were talking, whether or not just optimizing the little bits with AI, we're missing that bigger opportunity, and whether there is a role for a business analyst to have a blank sheet of paper, take a step back and say, actually, let's analyze the business at a fundamental level. Does any of this make sense?
You actually doing my talk, but in different ways. Exactly, you're spot on. Thank you so much. It's the whole idea is we're living in the new world with a new mindset. We cannot live in a new world with the old mindset. With the automation and AI, we need to adapt, we use it, and then we need to develop our skills. We need to do work. We need to do the work. We can't sit around and say, oh, venturous AI, it gives me the report about 2 minutes and it would have taken me 2 days. And do I go to Skype for the 2 days? No, I use this 2 days to further my knowledge and develop my skills. And that's the direction we're heading in. The world will not running out of problems. There's so many opportunities for us to help other people and make the world a better place. Whether it is a commercial sector or government sector or military sector, we all have the part to contribute to all these sectors. And yeah.
Thank you again for your talk. That was really enlightening and it was a lot to think about. But there's a question I have, and actually it just comes off the other one, is that we talk about upskilling, how we can transform ourselves from being business analysts or business advisors. But on the other side of that, how do business advisors become adopted by organizations? Because we then suddenly come into competition with consultancies. They have big budgets. We're going to be seeing business advisors stepping onto their territory, and they're going to want to say, hang on a second, we don't want that. How's that? How do you see that playing out?
I mean, the thing is, I used to work in London Business School, as you know, yeah, so a long time ago. And I recently met a lady who is now working in London Business School, and they have the world-class MBA course. And she told me that they changed the curriculum and syllabus. In the MBA course, they used to do a lot of models and like Excel, computer, mathematics, equation, and all this. They're not doing it now. They are developing now the MBA course with more soft skills, strategic advisory skills. So it's not just the business analysts in the IT world, even in the business world, they are reacting fast. They are going to them. So as I said, the sky is just a limit. There's still a lot of problems for us to solve. We use our soft skill, our human intelligence to help solve problems. In the business world, in the management consultants community, we're doing it as well. they are using the AI tool to help them creating models, like cost and benefit model. They're very good at that. They look at the impact assessment, cost and benefit and all this. Yeah, they let the AI do it, and they move on to do something more strategic, even more strategic than my suggestion. So everybody is changing. Yeah, nobody can move away. So if there's no question, it's time for the pizza. Oh, one more question.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Online question first.
Okay, are the concerns that we are providing potentially company confidential information and commercially sensitive information to the tools? And are there concerns around the intellectual property of the initial inputs and generative outputs?
So my answer is that it depends how you use the AI tool. ChatGPT is a playground. So you can ask ChatGPT any question, whatever. But if you are working in a confidential environment, the OpenAI, they have the ChatGPT large language model for business. So you buy the license, the algorithm of large language model, the natural language understanding, but your data set is internal. So the algorithm is the same. But for example, I'm in Atkins, and we have the ChatGPT LLM for business. So I can just ask my co-pilot, I want to know Steve's mobile number. Instead of going to SharePoint and going to the Outlook and look for your name and look for your telephone number, I ask my co-pilot, find me Steve's mobile number. It will just give me the number. But the data set is internal. So organizations, companies, they can actually get the API plugin to use the large language model and ChatGPT model, but with the internal data set. So that and also with AI ethic and AI like data security and all this, yeah, it is debatable. The bottom line is it all depends on how you use it. If data is sensitive, you know, GPT-4, ChatGPT, Google Bard, Bing Chat, they all go to the internet to grab the data. So and also machine learning, you don't ask the sensitive question. For example, I use the prompt, I never mention location or name or thing. I just have a scenario based, a example, and then just test the output for my need. And in terms of the data ethic and copyright and trademark, intellectual properties, that is, yeah, it's so debatable. I don't have an answer. I know already, like music creators, they try to get copyright compensation from the AI because they think the AI use their music to generate another music. But I'm thinking, I have a music teacher, and the music teacher teach me how to play piano, and I go away to play piano. Will the music teacher sue me? Oh, Kitty Hung is now playing piano. Because I learned from you. So debatable. I don't have an answer. So I have one more question, yeah? Before the pizza.
I'll try and
There's something else here.
Oh,
We have another 10 minutes, Kitty, after you say.
Thank you very much
Okay, yeah.
for the great,
yeah.
brilliant as usual.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's put our hands together for Kate.